Alright, this is the junk food that David Ray is going around telling everybody that I feed the goats. It's supposedly malnourishing or whatever. It has 0 nutrients. That's what David tells everybody, anyways. But that's why I do videos. Not that anybody cares, but if anybody asks, I'll be like, hey, check out my video. I'll show you. And you can go back and look through my videos. I don't tag and label all my videos as detailed as some people do because I don't have time or the patience. I got a lot of things going on. But yeah, you can rummage through my old videos and you'll see what I have been buying over the years. And I also put in an anti-parasite herbal blend that I formulated because David Ray refused to help me. Let me stick this up here. Yeah, it's like I had. Well, the goats started out as David Ray's. I didn't know goats. I didn't really want goats. I didn't really care to have any to begin with. You know, the goats were David's thing. And so they started out as his goats, his responsibility, his whatever. Even though I ultimately ended up having to buy all the fencing for them. I ultimately ended up having to buy all the medicine for them. I ultimately ended up having to buy all the food for them. It was his deal. So what I did just now was I took 50% goat food with 50% chicken food, and I put it in here with this other stuff my brother gave me because my brother worked at a feed place, and it's like oats and whatnot that people came to buy to plant. So I mix, and it's got corn. So I mix the goat food, the goat food blend with the chicken food blend with this stuff, and then I blend it together, and that's what I give the goat. But David Ray says I give them junk food with no nutritional value. But anyways, and I put the herbal blend in everything because the herbal blend that I formulated is good for cats, chickens, and goats. I put coconut in there for most of the cats because coconut's good for keeping down tapeworms. I don't know that chickens or goats get tapeworms, but I know cats do. And so I put the coconut in for the cats. Now, I use diatomaceous earth as a carrier, and basically it's real simple. It's not very complicated. I just research what herbs are anti-parasite herbs, and I buy them by the pound, 16 ounces. And then I buy a 40-pound bag, spiderweb. I buy a 40-pound bag of diatomaceous earth, and I mix it all together. Not too complicated. But then I also add in the minerals because goats need minerals. Actually, they all do, to be honest. But I get goat mineral for the goats, but I put that in there for all of them. Put cinnamon in there to help keep the ticks down, and garlic helps keep the ticks and the flies down. I put baking soda in it to help them with pH balance. Although the goats don't need to worry about their pH too much because they're foraging for a lot of their food. I don't give them a lot of food. I mean, this is a lot for this goat, but he only gets it on the weekends, and he's the only goat. So, uh, I normally just give this to the goats as a treat to program them to come whenever I want them to come, do what I want them to do. For me, it's a treat and a control mechanism. So I'm not sure where Paul is, but he's probably running around here somewhere. Another spider web. But I leave the gate open so he can run, do whatever he wants. He's the only goat here, so it's not like he's going to create any damage or do any harm. Once I get the perimeter fenced in, what I'll do is I'll basically do what I'm doing now. I'll leave one yard open for them to return to, but then they'll be able to run the whole property. And then, but they'll have each a different yard each month. I mean, not each month, but each, time it's time to rotate them, so that they'll have their own house in a different yard every single time, and that'll help keep the parasites down. The weeds are tall up in here. Paul's not doing his job. Oh, there he is. But he's only one goat. If all the other goats were here, all these weeds would be gone. There you go, Paul. You doing okay? You look healthy enough. You're not really supposed to be up there, but it's old, so I figure screw it. You got plenty of grass to eat. I'll worry about it later, or not worry about it at all. Come on. So anyways, so he's still alive. Oh, here's his trail. Follow the goat trail. I saw some Chinese lanterns the way I was walking. But anyways, so that's the goat's food. And what I do to take care of Paul, I'm going to cut this tree out. It's a crappy tree. I just haven't done it yet. Urgh. And probably this one too. Oh, it's an oak. Now I'll probably just trim it up above the juniper and leave it be and cut this one out. Or cut this one out and let this one grow. That's what I might do. Because it's just too close to the junipers. But this one is far enough away. At least for now. Anyhow. So, that's the goats. And the cats, well, I feed them in the chicken feeder right now because I only have one automatic chicken feeder. And the cats, not all of them are good mousers. So, and if they don't have some sort of food, they're going to wander off. And then they're going to get eaten or run over, or they're just going to die, starvation. So I got the automatic feeder to feed them while I'm on the road. Now tomorrow morning, I'll come down and feed them in the cat house, but I'm not going to do that right now because coons. So I'm going to go back to the chicken coop. I just moved, since I don't have chickens right now, I just ended up putting cat food in the automatic chicken feeder for now. But once I buy the the automatic deer feeder that I want for the cats, and I get the cat house cleaned up, I'll end up putting that in the cat house and feeding them there again. I still feed them there in the mornings when I'm home. But since I still have a coon problem, I'm not going to feed them in the cat house tonight. I'll just go ahead and feed them in the chicken coop again. So, but yeah, there's this really cool chicken feeder that I want for the cats. And it basically works like this one does, except it's got a chamber that the food drops down into. And then so I'm going to take the bottom off of this chamber, whether I got to cut it off or just take it apart. I'm going to take the bottom off of the chamber so that the food falls directly down instead of sprays like this. It's got the spraying thing like this does. But what I'm going to do is it comes with a chamber. And it's got these like little pockets in the chamber so they can eat out of the pockets. But I'm going to take the bottom of that off so it'll just drop. So when it spins like this, it'll go inside the chamber and then drop straight down into this here bowl. So 10 seconds. Oh, it didn't work. There it is. Run! 10 seconds. It's going to go off. And that works great for the chickens because then the chickens don't trample on each other whenever the feeder goes off. It sprays the food everywhere. See, I had the food automatic feeder, the smaller one on this hook, and it would spray the food in this corner. Well, the bigger chickens would trample the smaller chickens and squish them. I kept coming home to dead chickens, and David Ray would never check on them. He never cared or whatever. He'd just leave them. So I'd come home, dead chickens all over the place. And took me a minute to figure out what was going on. But basically, when the feeder would go off, they would bum rush to this corner. And so the smaller, weaker ones would get ran over by the bigger, heavier ones. And they don't really care about each other. They're greedy bastards. So they just trampled each other. And so that was a problem. So I moved it to way up there, and that helped to spread it far and wide. But the problem with that was it would spray the food into my nest boxes. And so I went and got this. So the spinner's down below the nest boxes, so it spreads the food around under the nest boxes. And so the food doesn't land in the nest boxes, and then the chickens don't scratch the nest boxes and scratch up the eggs or break the eggs and then get hungry for eggs and eat their eggs. So it took me a while to figure that out. But anyways, yeah, I pretty much got everything down. I just got to get a foamcrete machine and foamcrete these walls so they'll be insulated. David Ray has a foamcrete machine. I've been trying to get him to foamcrete the walls for like 2-3 years now. Since 2019, 2020. And he refused. So I'm going to go buy my own foamcrete machine and I'll foamcrete the walls myself. Or maybe do hempcrete and use straw instead. And then just pack it in. Oh, I can use any kind of weed. I can use those weeds. They got real thick stalks. Just go out here and chop some weeds, make some hempcrete, pack it in. It might take me a couple months, but over time, packing it in, it'll get, it'll set up and it'll insulate the building. If I had help, it'd be a lot quicker. But anyways, so once I get it insulated, then I'll put I'll finish the walls, and then I could put nest boxes all along the back, put a cage on this side for newcomer birds, and then this will be the roost for the birds that aren't sitting on eggs. And then I'll have the feeder right here in the middle. And I put all this paper in here for the chickens to scratch up and stuff. But right now there's no chickens. So, but as you can see, some of these books were romance novels. I threw the romance novels in here and they scratched them up and whatnot, and they got all poofy and stuff. But anyways, yeah, it's crazy. So, but that's my automatic feeder. I'm gonna set these coon traps so I can catch me some coons tonight or tomorrow, and take care of my coon problem. So I think I only got 1 or 2 coons left, but I don't know. We'll see, because I thought that last time, and I obviously have a coon problem still. Because there's coon poop right there, and it looks fresh. So that there's a telltale sign. What do you think? So anyhow, so yeah, that's a demonstration of all the junk food that I feed the animals. This is the cat food I give them is Diamond cat food, the purple bag. I do mix it up with some other stuff, but and I do put some chicken feed in it to attract rodents, because the cats will eat some chicken food, but they won't eat it all. And so what they don't eat will attract rodents for the cats to eat. So free food. But anyways, yeah. And then, but anyhow, when I get chickens, all this will end up becoming compost. So once this gets full, like I want it to, then we can come in here and scoop some of it out from time to time and use it for our gardening. So there you go. Yeah, chickens make great composters, pet organic composting machines. And then they got eggs, and then you can eat the meat too. But I'm not one for butchering chickens. I'd rather just eat the eggs. But chickens also keep bugs down, and they make good composters. So, okay, bye.